Well, hello there, Gogopreneur listeners. Super excited. In this episode, we are going to talk about how do you know it's time to hire a VA. And this is actually one of my trainings from inside of the Go community. If you don't know what Go community is, I started this community for like-minded entrepreneurial individuals who can learn together and learn from each other. It's a community in a sense of I bring all of my knowledge, all of my industry friends' knowledge, but also our members share their knowledge so we can teach each other and get smarter together. If you're not a Go member yet, we would absolutely love to have you. All you need to do is go to gogetamcommunity.com. Now, in today's training, we are going to talk about how do you know it's time to hire a VA and why should you even have a VA in the first place, right? And what is a VA? Let's start there. A VA is a virtual assistant, right? We all need assistance. Trust me, you do. If you are anything like me, I come from hard work equals money. I can do it all. I don't freaking need help. I don't ask for help, right? Yada, yada. But I can tell you the most amount of money I ever made without having help was $420,000 in a year. After having help, I have not made less than 7 digits every single year since. Today, I have over 14 virtual assistants and 2 in-person assistants, okay? So I want to talk about how do you know when to hire a VA and how do you know when to hire an in-person assistant? And I'm kind of going to walk you guys through the actual step-by-step process today. So today's episode is going to be full with very, very good step-by-step instructions, but it's going to be shorter than our regular episodes because I want you guys to take what you learn. So make sure you take notes and then go implement it right away to change your life, to take yourself to that 7-digit, the 2 commas in your income. And trust me, you cannot do it by yourself. Just like that saying that we say when we are raising a family, that it takes a village to raise a family. Guys, it takes a village to grow a business as well. You cannot do it by yourself. Not only that, you shouldn't, because you need to have a life, right? But also, we are naturally not good at everything. So certain things need to be hired out for multiple reasons because A, you might not be really good at it, and it might take you 4 hours to do something when it's going to take someone 5 minutes when they're really good at it, right? Or you hate it all the way to the finish line. So yes, you get it done, but you hate it every minute of it. And I love this saying that you never work a day in your life when you love what you do. Right? So if you love what you do and it doesn't feel like work, you're going to love it. You're going to look forward to when you go to bed to wake up and get to do it again. And the magical word is get to do it versus having to do it. So I want you to look at everything of like, what can you hire out that you don't like doing, or you're not naturally good at it and it feels like work, or you're doing it but it doesn't really make you the money that you are deserved in an hourly rate. So let's figure out, how do we know how much money you make in the hour? Because that's what's going to allow you to go take it one step further and figure out what steps do you need to hire out and what steps do you need to make.
Welcome to Gogopreneur, where Gogo Bethke, your host, interviews badass rock star entrepreneurs of the world, figuring out who they are, how they got to where they're at, and the lessons they learned along the way, so you can learn those lessons and turn it into money. Let's go get them.
Hello, my Gogopreneur friends. Are you frustrated by not knowing how to reach that 7-digit mark in your business? Maybe kind of like stuck in the progress? I want to invite you to gogetamcommunity.com. It is your last stop to becoming a 7-digit entrepreneur. You will have access to monthly live calls with me and industry experts and Q&As at the end. Every training we do is recorded. We have a massive knowledge library. You will have access to my team. Tuesdays for Tech Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you have direct access to my VAs. Ask them absolutely anything, how we have built everything in all of my businesses. You will have access to a private Facebook group and a private Facebook chat. And that's where I communicate directly with all of our members. That's where I share my thoughts, my ideas, a new app, books that I'm reading, videos that I'm watching, anything I'm feeding to my brain, any systems that I'm implementing into my business. That is your direct access to me, your direct access to each other and like-minded entrepreneurs in the industry. Join us today to transform your business. Go to gogetamcommunity.com. The easiest way of knowing what you should continue doing and what is no longer worth your time, or you shouldn't do it because you're not enjoying it or it doesn't make you the money, right, is by knowing your own hourly rate. So let's calculate it very quick. Hopefully you have a cell phone or a calculator handy. I want you to take the amount of money that you made last year, all of it, all the income that you had, not after expenses and all of that after marketing costs, but the money that came in, every single penny of it. I want you to take that total and I want you to divide it by 2080. The reason why 2,080, if you work a healthy 40 hours times 52 weeks in a year, that's 2,080 hours that you worked. So assuming that you work full time, you're going to take the total amount of money that you made, divided by 2,080, and that will give you your current hourly rate. So for example, on the screen, for the listeners, you don't see my screen, but the people who are watching this on television or on YouTube, you see my screen. So I want to explain it super quick. The example that we use is a $250,000 income. So let's assume that you made $250,000 last year, all year, and let's assume that you worked 2,080 hours to make the $250,000. If that's the case, your hourly rate is $120.19. So now that you know your hourly rate, does it worth it for you to do paper pushing? Does it worth it to you to walk your dog? Does it worth it to you to do laundry and grocery shop? Does it worth it to you to go buy closing gifts or take out yard signs, or depending whatever that you do in your business being an entrepreneur, right? So here's the answer. If it's not making you the $120 an hour or whatever that hourly rate is that is staring you back right now. So you took the amount of money you made last year, you divided it by 2,080, and that number that is staring you in the eyes right now, that's your hourly rate. So you have to promise to yourself that from now on, you're not going to be doing anything that doesn't make you that hourly rate from now on. That's how you're going to take yourself to the next level. Now, it is hard at times. It is super weird at times. So for example, I remember the first time I had the house assistant, and someone zooming around you in your house, and they're doing laundry and they're grocery shopping and they're taking the dog for a walk and all of those things, and you kind of feel awkward, especially because I work like this. This is my job. So to anybody else, and for the listeners, you don't see what I'm doing. I'm sitting in a chair, typing on a cell phone. That's pretty much my job, right? So anyone walking into my home, they're going to be like, someone's doing circles around you and you're sitting on your ass typing on a phone. But that's my job. That's how I make money. I make money online, right? So if I'm not online, I am not making money. If I'm doing dishes, I am not making money. If I'm doing laundry, I am not making money. So I need to stay in my lane and I need to be making money, right? And everybody else needs to take the things off of my plate that does not make me money, correct? So from now on, look at your hourly rate and never do anything else that doesn't make you that amount in the hour. So what I want you to do, that number that's staring you in the face right now, I want you to write it down on a piece of sticky note, and I want you to stick it into multiple places. So for example, I want you to stick it to your washer and dryer. And you're going to say, very expensive load of laundry. Very expensive load of laundry. I want you to stick it right by the kitchen sink and say, very expensive dishes, or doing the dishes, right? Because are you making yourself the next dollar, or are you getting yourself the next client while you're doing dishes? No, you're not. The dishes have to be done, just not by you. The laundry has to be done, just not by you. The dog needs to be walked, just not by you. The grocery shopping needs to get done, just not by you. All of the online stuff, all of the DMs and the comments and send me the link and sign me up for this and all that needs to be done, just not by you. Not unless it's making you, in this case, the $120.19. Make sense? Okay, so what's the difference between a virtual assistant and an in-person assistant? So think of it this way. Most of my VAs, so my 14 VAs are in 3 different parts of the world, mostly in Brazil, and then I have 2 in India and 1 in Pakistan, okay? Other than that, I have assistants here in the US, 2 American in person, right? So with that being said, can my administrative assistant, her name is Lindsay, can she, who's in Brazil, take out a yard sign for me in Pinckney, Michigan, or in Tampa? No, she can't. She's literally on another continent. Can she respond to emails and put things into my calendar? Absolutely. She can do anything with the power of Wi-Fi and cell service, right? So this is how I want you to look at things. This is how I want you to compartmentalize things in your mind about an in-person assistant versus an online assistant. The online assistant is more than likely going to be in another country. And if they're in another country, they are not able to physically help you with things that need to get done physically. So in the real estate world, what are some of the physical stuff? Like, for example, taking out yard signs and buying closing gifts, right? They can't do that. They need to put a nice, gift together. They can't do that online. Make sense? So in-person assistant is going to be someone who is physically next to you and can help you with things that you need to get done. And then the virtual assistant is the person who can do anything from the other end of the world. The difference between the two, it's much higher hourly rate. That's pretty much the biggest difference, plus the fact that they're physically not able to get things done. They can do things, the virtuals, online, okay? So let's talk about that super quick. And what is an average hourly rate versus a virtual assistant's hourly rate versus an in-person hourly rate? So let's talk about the in-person one super quick. So if you were to ask someone to be your house assistant, and my house assistant does everything from me, from grocery shopping, walking my dog, laundry, taking things to dry cleaner, picking up things, returning things, pretty much running our household. Anything that needs to get done, filing, opening the mail, filing the mail, keeping our house in order, like anything that needs to get done, doctor's appointments, anything that needs to get done on our house front, right? And also my office is in our house. She does that, okay? How much do you think someone is going to charge you in your neck of the woods to come and do all this for you? This is, by the way, it's an ideal job for like a stay-at-home mom. So mine would be so-said stay-at-home mom. So she comes after she drops her kids off at school and stays until pickup time. So it's usually between 8:30 and 1:30 in the afternoon. So by the time she shows up, I'm already working. When she leaves, I'm still working. So I don't actually spend a lot of time with her. Technically, Mandy and Dwayne work together most of the time. I'm kind of just like, hey, Mandy, good to see you, right? Because I'm working at the same time when she's working. I think that's one of the keys to success of having assistants is to make sure that you promise to yourself that you are not sipping mimosas poolside while somebody is doing laps around you, right? But you're actually doing and staying in your lane and getting done the things that you're really good at, the money-making activities, so then you can continuously afford to have this help. Okay, so with that being said, those are Mandy's hours. Now, how much do you think someone is going to charge you to come to your house physically in today's world, right? So where I live, and this will change a little bit state to state, but where I live, I would say the average up here in Michigan used to be like 18 to 23, and down in Florida is more like 25 to 30 an hour, okay? So that's an in-house when you're hiring an American to come and help you. Now, this might change. Like if you're in California, they might charge you more. If you are in Alabama, they might charge you less, right? I don't know. You're going to have to kind of feel the waters and see how much people charge in average for that type of service. But think of it this way. Let's say it's $25 an hour, right? And let's say your hourly rate is $120. Should you go and get yourself another client that you know you're going to make $120 every time you work with them, every hour you work with them, or should you go run a load of laundry because you're trying to save the $25? Are you saving the $25 or are you losing $120? That is the question. So you are losing $120 every time you run your own laundry. You're not saving the $25, because if you stayed in your own lane and you spend that hour instead of doing laundry, the laundry gets done by your house assistant, but now you're taking that hour and you're going to make money-making activities. You're making $120 and spending $25, but still you're making more money versus trying to save that $25. You're not saving the $25. You're technically losing $120 by doing your own laundry. Make sense? Okay. So that's an in-person assistant. An average virtual assistant, and this kind of changes too depending which side of the country they are from, but they start anywhere from $3 an hour to like $6 an hour in average, I would say. And it's just depending which part of the world that they are from and also how much experience do they have. So I would say mostly from the Asian countries, you're going to find them at a little bit of a lower rate, more on the $3-4 side. And then when you go over to more like Brazil and the South American side of the world, I would say their average is more like $5-6 an hour. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So that's the difference between if you hire an American for the activities that can be done online, you're going to be paying that hourly rate, that American hourly rate, that $25 to $30 an hour, right? Versus paying $5 or $3-5 an hour because you're hiring it out to a virtual assistant from another side of the world. That's the difference between in-person and virtual.
You get paid for the hour what you bring to the hour. Or in other words, the fastest way for you to earn more is by learning more. Go Get 'em is your chance to learn from those who have walked the talk. Gogo invites all of the top performers in the industry to guide you through your success journey. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. The roadmap is already laid out. If you haven't figured out how to make money in your sleep yet, you're not running a business. You're stuck in a job. Join Go Get 'em to learn how to earn passively and have your money doing all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
To join Go Get 'em community, just go to www.gogetemcommunity.com and we will see you inside of our most amazing entrepreneurial community ever.
Okay. So here's the biggest, and I think we covered this a little bit. They make you money, not cost you money. Most people will look at, oh, I'm not getting an assistant. I can do my own laundry. I can stay up until 11 o'clock after I work a full day to save myself $25, right? No, instead, I want to have a life and only do activities that make me money. And when I come out of my office, ta-da, the house is clean, the dog is walked, the fridge is full with food, the laundry is done, everything is done. Trust me, you can have your cake and eat it too. And you have to look at your help, the people that are going to help you, you have to look at them that they are helping you to make more money and keep your sanity and have a life versus costing you money. They do not cost you money if you do this right. If you do this right, where you allow people to help you with the things that don't make you money or doesn't worth your hourly rate, or the things that you hate doing or don't come natural to you, you are going to make continuously more and more money, and you're going to actually have a life while you're making money. I guess that's my goal. I want to be able to enjoy my life and not be so exhausted. And after I just put 8 to 10 hours into my businesses and now have to come out of my dungeon, my office, and have to go and clean the kitchen and run to grocery shop and what's for dinner and did we have the doctor's appointments and all of that. You can't possibly do it right, especially what I'm doing, right? And I'm in a bunch of lives and stuff like that. I don't have time to answer my personal emails. I can't check the personal emails from the teachers. That's Mendy's job. I can't make the doctor's appointment because they work 9 to 5 and I'm working 9 to 5. So that's Mendy's job, right? So you are going to get more stuff done in your business, and also the stuff for your personal life is going to get done in the same time. So you're making money and you're enjoying your life and your life is in order. Because what I would hate for you to happen, or what I would hate to happen to you, right, is the fact that you are making all this money, but you are miserable because your house is not in order, your bills are not in order, your credit cards are not paid on time, your kids are missing their, quarterly teeth cleaning and all of that stuff. So in my opinion, we can have it all. In my opinion, we have the most perfect life, the way you want to live it and design it, but you cannot do it without help. Trust me, you can't. This thing called a burnout is a real thing. And then if you don't allow people to help you, you're going to get on what I call the human roller coaster. And that is the last thing I want to do. The human roller coaster is you're making all of this money, everything is so good, oh my gosh, and then you burn out, then you start crashing, oh my gosh, I don't have time for anything. I don't know last time I saw my friends, do I even have any friends? Oh my gosh, I forgot to pay my credit cards. And then you're back like, oh, caught up with everything. But while you're catching up with your personal life, you're neglecting your business life, right? And then it's a human roller coaster. So instead, allow help into your life. Calculate your hourly rate, know who you need to get in to help you. And that's what we are going to go into next. You're going to go into the red light, green light exercise. If I had $1, every time people ask me, but Gogo, how do I know when to hire someone and what jobs to give them? I would be a millionaire all over again. So let's cover the red light, green light exercise. This is what it looks like, guys. If you're not seeing the screen, I want you to imagine maybe a clipboard or a notebook, right? So I want you to take a fresh piece of paper, draw a line in the middle from the top to the bottom. And then one side, you're going to put red light. And on the other side, you're going to put green light. Now, it does not matter which side is on. It just matters what is what. So for example, a red light means red as the stop sign. Stop doing it right now. It is somebody else's job. Green light means you're shit, you're it. Oh shit, you're it, kind of, right? Meaning that I cannot hire that out. I have to continuously doing that. So I have some examples on the screen right here. This is for the online job. So this is for a VA. So I want you to take this red light, green light exercise. So imagine that you have this clipboard or this notebook. You draw the line in the middle, and then you're going to do this for a straight week. You're going to do it for a straight month, or you're going to do it quarterly. And here's the reason why. Some activities we do every single day. Some activities we do once a week. Some activities we do once a month, and some activities we do quarterly, like your taxes and meetings with your CPAs and your numbers meetings and those kind of stuff. Do you need help with everything? Absolutely. So what I want you to do is I want you to do a red light, green light exercise for a whole quarter, because that way you covered everything. So how does it look like? In the morning, you're going to wake up, and from the moment that you wake up and you do anything for your business, you're going to put it in one or the other category. So let's say you wake up and your dog needs to be walked. You're like, okay, Does the dog needs to be walked? Yes. Do I need to walk the dog, or can somebody else walk the dog? Does the dog care who walks them? No. So you're going to put it in a red light exercise, meaning you need to stop doing it right now. It is not your time best spent. Okay. So it's going to go into the red light section. Okay. This is the idea. Okay. So from the moment that you do every step in the process, I want you to write it down and put it in one or the other category. You're going to put it in red light, which means stop doing it right now. Somebody else can do it. Or green light, you're it. You're going to have to continue doing it. So let me give you a couple ideas for a virtual assistant job. So for example, writing emails and responding to emails and taking care of your emails, right? Do you have to do that? Or can someone manage it for you? Like Lindsay manages all of my emails. I couldn't tell you last time I logged into my emails. Very seldom I log in there. Lindsay have done it for the last, God knows, 4 years, right? Or my assistant's done it. Lindsay's been with me for 2 years now. My other assistant did it before her. So does your emails have to be responded? Yes. Do you have to respond? Nope. It's somebody else's job. So that goes into the red light section. Next one, make your social media posts. Do you have to make every social media, like, do you have to exist on the YouTubes and the TikToks and the LinkedIn's and the Facebooks and the Facebook groups and the personal pages and the business pages and all of that? Yes, you do. You need to exist everywhere. Do you have to make the post everywhere? Nope. That goes into the red light section. Somebody else can make the post, right? Answering DMs and comments. Do they need to be answered? Absolutely. Do you need to support and get back to your followers? Absolutely. Do you have to do it? Nope. Somebody on your team can do it, right? This is a VA's job. Set up appointments. Oh my gosh, I hate it. That alone worth every penny that what I pay for my assistants, because I hate doing the back and forth with people of like, oh, I'm not available today. How about Tuesday at 2? Oh, weekend, my son has soccer. Okay, well, I'm available at 5, or I can't, I'm showing houses. That back and forth, you're never going to get that time back. That alone worth every penny of having a virtual assistant is just to remove the appointments and the scheduling off of your to-do list, right? So that's a red light section. Do you need to be scheduled? Absolutely. Do you have to schedule yourself? Nope. My assistants can do that. Red light section. Like graphics and flyers. Do you have to have flyers for your open houses? Absolutely. Do you have to design it? No, you don't. That is not your job. Does it pay you $120 an hour to design a flyer, do any of these activities that I just mentioned? No, it doesn't. These are not money-making activities, right? Somebody else can do the day-to-day data entry. Now, let's go over to the green side on the online type of works, right? So, for example, I do coaching calls, one-on-one coaching calls. By the way, you can DM me if you're interested, if you want me to be your personal coach. Can I have a VA show up to my coaching call? No, because someone paid to literally have one-on-one time with me. That's a green light. That means I have to continuously doing that. And the only way I can continuously doing that if it makes me more than my current hourly rate, right? Next one, deals. Can my VA negotiate deals for me in real estate? No, she can't. She's not licensed in real estate, doesn't understand the local market. That is my job until you have a buyer's agent or listing agent, right? The next one is activities that make you money. That's green light. So if the activity needs to make me money, that is my job. Unless you figured it out how to do it with systems and an online product. And I'm doing a whole training in July on that. So hopefully I will see you there, right? So you want to think about, how about being in your photos and videos? Can I hire that out? Can I give it to a VA to like do a, how to hire a VA, quick little reel? Yeah, no. Right? That is green light. That continues to be my job. So for example, my brand is my job. I have to be in my pictures. I have to be in my videos. I cannot hire that portion out. But do I have to then take that video and plaster it everywhere myself? No, that's a VA's job. All I need to do is spend 1.5 minutes of my time creating the video. After that, it goes into red light section, meaning the VA's job is to plaster that video and make sure it's present everywhere. Not my job. My job is done when I did the video. Does this make sense? So here are just some examples of how to look at the red light, green light exercise for the online activities, the things that can be done online. Now let's break it down to the in-person activities, the red light, green light section. So for example, taking out yard signs if you're a realtor. Can a virtual assistant do that? No, that's an in-person. Do you have to do that yourself, or can you hire, I don't know, a teenager that drives out yard signs for you for, I don't know, $15 an hour? Absolutely. That goes into the red light section. Does it need to get done? Yes. Does it need to get done by you? No. Goes into the red light section. Buying closing gifts. Do you need a closing gift and show up at the closing table? Yes. You need to buy your gift and go to Target and put in a nice little basket and put all of your marketing branded stuff in there and all that and put a bow on it. Do you have to do that? No. That's an assistant's job, right? Does it? So that goes into the red light section. Grocery shopping. Do you need groceries? Yes. You need to go do the shopping? No. That's the assistant's job, right? That goes into the red light section. You just save yourself now an hour and a half to 2 hours by not going grocery shopping, not even to pick up. I don't pick up. I haven't seen a grocery store, right? So I don't pick up. I don't order online. I don't go in person. I don't do any of that. That is Mandy's job. Because in those 2 hours that it takes to pick up the groceries or grocery shop and order it online and put it away, and even just look in the pantry to see what we need, I make myself a shit ton of money by staying in my lane and doing what I'm good at. So I don't grocery shop. That's a red light section. Like office organization. I don't want to spend an hour a day printing stuff out and the mail that comes in, make sure the bills are paid and which file they go into and file. I don't have time for that. Does it need to get done? Yes, it's a red light section. Mandy's job, not my job. Set up and break down events, right? Like, do I love events? Yes. Are they necessary to what I do for a living? Absolutely. Do I have to set up and order the catering and make sure that the charcuterie board looks just perfect and we have pop and water and wine and liquor, right? Like, that is not my job. Cleaning up after the event, not my job. My job is to show up at the event and stay in my lane and build those relationships. That's my job. So all of this goes into red light section. So now let's go into the green light section. For example, can my assistant go, if I accept a speaking engagement, can my assistant go and speak for me? Nope. Green light. That's a Gogo job, right? In-person meetings. Can my assistant go and sit in a board meeting like in a big business decision? Nope. That's a Gogo job, right? Events. If I have people at my house, can I invite people over to an event at my house and then I'm not there and then my assistant's going to mingle with them? No. It's not possible. That's a green light, right? So these are the differences between red light and green light. Red light means stop doing it right now. Green light means you're it. Okay. Now, what I don't want to happen, which happens to all of us, right, is then when you get to the red light section, this is the list of things that somebody can help you with. When you are separating red light to green light, I don't want you to allow your ego to answer the question. Why? Because what's going to happen sometimes, and I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, but I'm just going to throw it out there, right? What's going to happen sometimes is that your ego says, yeah, but I can totally do that. That would only take me like 5 minutes, like a load of laundry, like what? I'm just going to throw it in there super quick. And then I'm going to, fold it super quick and put it away. That's not that bad, right? You're going to justify it in your head. And then your ego is going to say, I can do that. I'm going to save that $25, right? So don't let your ego to answer the question. Let your brain answer the question to be like, is this truly like a me job or is it a somebody else's job? And my ego is just telling me, save the $25. Don't ever let your ego, let me put it this way. Your ego is not your amigo. It is not here to make you more money. Okay? It's that little ugly monkey on your shoulder. Okay, so make sure that when you're answering the red light, green light exercise, you're not answering it with your ego, you're answering it with your business brain. So with this, now that you're going to have the red light section and then you're going to have the green light section, guess what you have in the red light section? You have your new VAs or your new in-person assistants job duties. So you don't have to worry about or wonder about what are they going to do for me every day, because you're going to do that exercise for a straight month or a straight quarter and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, all of these things in the red light section I need to remove from my plate. Somebody else needs to pick this up and somebody else needs to do it. There's a whole job description in that section, right? So if you're doing it for the in-person assistant, you say, I'm looking for a house assistant who can work a minimum of 6 hours a day to take care of all of the house duties. For example, grocery shopping, running errands, post office, picking up the house, ordering online stuff, returning stuff, doctor's appointments, pretty much everything that it was in that red light section, in-person assistant, right? There is a job description. There is the expectations of what they're going to be doing. And then for the virtual assistant, same thing. You're going to say, I need someone to work Eastern time zone from 8 to 5. Job duties are, calendar management, email management, social media management. They must be punctual. They must be on time. They must have very good verbal and written English, blah, blah, blah. There's your job description. You literally know what to do with them from now on because you did the exercise. Red light, green light exercise, and most importantly, your hourly rate. So the biggest takeaways from this episode, what is your hourly rate? Calculate that and then stick it everywhere so you never do anything else again that is not making you that money. And then you're going to get assistance in person and online. The online assistants, if you are kind of worried about where to start, I would start with the online assistant because it's going to cost you way less money, right? Their average hourly rate is $4 or $5 versus an average American in-person assistant's hourly rate is like more like $25, right? And that's it. Then you remove yourself all of that thing. You do the red light, green light exercise, remove everything in the red light section off of your to-do list, and you stay in your lane, continuously making money with a very minimum of what you make in an hour, and then some. Because now think about how much time you saved. Right now, think about how much more money-making activities, how much more time you have for money-making activities. So this is how you multiply your income, by removing the everyday stuff that does not serve you, does not make you the money, and fill the time with money-making activities while everything gets taken care of, and you have your sanity and you have an amazing life. So thank you so much for listening. That's it for this episode of Gogopreneur. I appreciate you all. Did you know, I learned this from my assistant, my virtual assistant, Natalia, in the Gogopreneur episode, that when we have 500 downloaded episodes in a week, we get to top 10 entrepreneurial podcast. So if you want to help us, and if you love what you do here, please subscribe, tell your friends, put it on your social media, share the link. I appreciate the love. We are at 266 downloads in a week now, so we are halfway there of being in the top 10 of most listened to entrepreneurial podcasts. I hope you found this episode super helpful. I hope you implement what you learned, and I hope that you come back. And as a closing statement, this is a presentation from the Go community. If you're not familiar with the Go community is, please go to gogocommunity.com to check it out. And you see who we are, what we do, and you get access to my team. You get access to weekly trainings, monthly lives, Q&A sessions with me, trainings by our members, which are, by the way, super duper amazing entrepreneurs in this world. Like, we just had our very first training by one of our members, and she runs 2 businesses that generated over $1 billion in 2023. She also a licensed realtor and made almost $500,000 in GCI. So we have like rock star members, and the best part is they bring their knowledge, they share it with us. The second best part is you get access to my whole virtual assistance team. So all of these VA stuff that I talked about here today, you literally get access to my VAs to ask any questions. So your VA can go to the Tuesday tech call with my VAs when they are stuck. So if you have not checked out Go community yet, we would love to have you come be a part of the community. See you there. Bye, guys.
Hey guys, my team just brought it to my attention, and I totally forgot to mention the We Clone You option as well. So Sammy and I have built We Clone You together a few years ago. At the time, we were business partners. So the We Clone You training program of how to find, hire, and train VAs for a specific job is built exactly on the same exact model how I teach you how to do it yourself. Now, if you don't want to do it yourself, you don't have the time, you're already too busy, this is not in your wheelhouse, or you just don't freaking feel like it, and you rather have someone do it for you, I strongly recommend We Clone You. All you need to do is go to wecloneyou.com/Gogo. With my link, when you're using the /Gogo, you will actually get your first VA on me. You're technically getting the $1,000 off. So if you rather have a company find, hire, and train your VA, and all you need to do is just plug them right into your business, please go to wecloneyou.com/Gogo to get your $1,000 off. Technically, your first VA is on me.
Thanks for joining Gogopreneur. Keep that go-getter spirit alive. Until next time, go get 'em.